about the problem.
Yeah, I know. Okay, good morning. Welcome to MathProject84.
Awesome.
You know, we're almost to 100.
Actually, I think it's 84.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
I'll have to look at the videos when we put them on the computer. Okay, but we can say it's 84. And all right. Well, anyway, today we're going to look at it's an interesting homework problem about multiplying two-digit numbers, but we've never really talked about multiplying two-digit numbers. So what would? Well, let me.
I know 10 times 10.
Yeah. What would you do if I asked you to do 24 times, I don't know, 7? How would you do that?
Well, first I'd figure out 24 times 3. And 24 times 3 is 72.
Okay.
And then 24 times 10, which is 240, and I'd do 240 minus 72. And what is that?
Okay, what is 240 minus 72?
Well, we've got the 200, and 40 minus 70 is negative 30.
So 200
and negative 2.
minus 30 minus 2. And what's this all add up to?
168.
168. Okay. That's a perfectly fine way to do it. So you figured out what 24 times 3 was, you figured out what 24 times 10 was, you subtracted 200 minus 0 is 200, 40 minus 70 is minus 30, 0 minus 2 is minus 2, so it's 200 minus 30, which is 170, minus 2, which is 168.
Yep.
Okay? I'm going to show you 2 more ways you could do this problem, and the last one's going to be the way that most people do it. Okay? And your way is perfectly fine, by the way. It gets the right answer, and your way is actually pretty clever.
Yeah.
So let's look at 2 other ways to do it, though. I need the eraser. Oh, but this blue doesn't erase very well, I don't think. Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Forgot about that. We need to get some new erasers before we start for this fall.
Do you want me to go get you a tissue?
Yeah, hold on a second. I'll turn off the camera. Okay, sorry about that. So the next way to do 24 times 7 is we could say 7 times 4 is what?
7 times 4 is 28.
28. And 7 times 20 is what?
140.
140.
And we can do 140 plus 28 is 168.
Yeah, 168. So this is 168 also. And that's what we got before, right?
Yeah.
So 24 times 7 is the same thing as 28, which is 7 times 4, plus 7 times 20, which is 140.
Yeah.
So we get 168.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, so that's closer to the way that most people learn how to do multiplication. And here's what they actually do. And we're going to have to learn about carrying, which we've never talked about before.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Okay, so here's what we do. We say, well, actually, you know what? I'm going to leave 24 times 7 up here the way we did it before. 28, 140, 168. Okay? So 7 times 4 is 28.
Yeah.
And so what we're going to do is we're going to write the 8, but we're not going to write the 2, we're not going to write the 28, we're going to write a 2 up here, and that's called carrying the 2.
What do you need the 2 up there for?
Well, so that's the same 2 as this 2. See that 2?
Yeah.
It got up and walked all the way over here like a little ant and went over there. That's the same 2. And then we say 7 times 20, 7 times 2 here, that 2 represents a 20,
Yes.
is 14 plus 2.
It is 16.
16. So we say 168.
Cool.
Cool. Okay, so let's do a couple practice ones. And then we're going to move on to something even a little bit harder. Okay? So let's do, oh jeez, I'm going to stop writing in this blue because it's so hard to erase. So, all right, so you pick a 2-digit number for me. Anyone you want.
32.
Okay, 32. And now pick a one-digit number.
But times, I don't know, 6?
32 times 6. Great choice. Okay? Now, one way we could do this is we could say 32 times 6 is 12. 6 times 2 is 12. And what's 6 times 30?
6 times 30 is 180.
180. So that's going to be what? What's 180 plus 12?
180 plus 12 is 192.
192. Very good. Instead,
we can do it the carrying way.
we're going to do it the carrying way. 6 times 2 is?
It's 12.
12. So we write a 2 and carry the 1. And remember, that 1 is just this one here.
Walked.
It walked over here like a little ant and stayed over there. And now we say 6 times 3 is 18 plus
1.
Which is?
19.
And we get the answer is 192.
The same.
Okay. Yeah, it's good that it's the same.
If the answer was different, that would be a problem.
If the answer were different, it wouldn't be a really great way to multiply.
Yeah.
Because you could say 32 times 6 is 11, and that would be super fast, right?
Yeah.
But is 32 times 6 11?
No.
No. What is 32 times 6?
32 times 6 is 192.
Okay. Alright, so now pick another two-digit number. And this one's for you to do.
How about 48?
48 times, how about 48 times, I don't know, 3. Okay, so come on up here.
Can I grab a marker?
Here's the marker, and I'm going to lower the camera down. 48 times 3. Go ahead.
So 8 times 3 is 24. So we write a 4 there, and we put the 2 right here.
Yep.
And then 3 times 40. 3 times 4 is 12 plus 2 is 16. 164.
Interesting. Try 3 times 4 again.
3 times 4 is 12 plus the 2 up here.
Yeah.
Which is it's 14.
Yeah.
144.
You know how you can figure out that 12 plus 2 is 14?
Just add on 2.
Yeah, you just add on 2. Okay, so very good. Except for adding the 2 wrong. You did that exactly right. Now I'm going to show you how you do multiplying two-digit numbers. You ready?
Yeah.
How about 25 times 43? Okay?
Yeah.
So we could do this kind of a long way. And we could say, well, I know that 25 times 3, what's 25 times 3?
75.
25 times 3 is 75, so you would do 3 times 5 is 15, so you do 5, carry the 1. 3 times 2 is 6, and 6 plus 1 is?
7.
75. We could say it's 25 times 3, and it's going to be plus 25 times 40. And how are we going to figure out what 25 times 40 is?
25 times 40 is... We can do 25 times 10 times 4.
Okay.
25 times 10 is 250.
Right, this is the same as 250
Times 4.
times 4. And so we would do 4 times 0 is 0, nothing to carry.
Yeah.
4 times 5 is
20.
20, so we would write a 0 and carry the 2. 4 times 2 is?
4 times 2 is 8.
And 8 plus 2 is?
Is 10.
10. So 250 times 4 is 1,000.
Yeah.
So 25 times 40 is 1,000. And so we would get 25 times 43 is the same as
1,075.
1,075, okay. So let me show you the new way that I want you to learn how to do two-digit multiplication. Okay, so we would do 3 times 5 is 15, carry the 1. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 75. Okay, just like before. But now we have to do, that's the 25 times 3 part. That's this 75 that took a walk right over here.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we have to do 40 times 25. That's what this 4 represents?
A D. The 4 represents a D for D.
Okay. Alright. And you did it, you had exactly the right instinct. It's the same, you just can ignore this 0. You just add on that 0. 40 is 250 times 4. So instead of adding the 0 to the 25, I'm just going to put a 0 down here. I say, I've got a 40 here, and I'm just going to start with a 0. Okay, does that make sense?
Sort of.
Sort of, okay. It's what you did over here when you said 25 times 40 is the same as 250 times 4. Everything shifted over by 10. You first took 25 times 4 and you multiplied it by 10. So what's 25 times 4?
25 times 4 is 100.
Is 100.
And that
And I just have to add on a 0 now, right? To figure out what 25 times 40 is?
which is 1,000.
So it's 1,000. So I know I'm going to have to add on a 0 at the end. So I just put a 0 right at the beginning instead. Okay? So we start out with a 0. And now we do 4 times 5 is?
4 times 5 is 20.
20, which is a 0. Carry the 2. Now we have to get rid of that 1 from before, because that 1's gone. It's already left and gone. So that 1 went all the way back over here. It left. You have to cross it out. 4 times 2 is 8.
Yep.
8 plus 2 is?
10.
10. So we have 1,000 plus 75. And what's that?
1,075.
1,075.
We're doing all these practice problems.
Okay. We're going to do one more. You're going to do... Well, actually, why don't you talk me through this next one? Pick a 2-digit number.
22.
22. Okay. Times. Pick another 2-digit number.
22 times... How about 14?
14. Okay. How about 19?
Okay.
So I just want to have some carrying. 22 times 19. What's the first thing we do?
Well, we do 9 times 2.
9 times 2 is?
18.
8. So I write an 8. And what do I do
And
next?
we put the 1 next to the 2.
Put the 1 next to that too. Okay. What's next?
9 times 20.
9 times 2, which is the 20. 9 times 2 is?
18. 9 times 2 is 18.
Yeah.
But that's a 20. 9 times 2 is 18, except that's a 20.
Right, that is a 20.
Yeah.
Are you confused by that?
Sort of.
Okay, let's go back, because I don't want you to be confused. So let's go back and remember what we're doing here when we do 22 times 19. It's actually important to know. 22 times 19. Well, we could do 22 times 9 and then plus 22 times 10, right?
Yeah.
So we could do 22 times 9 plus 22 times 10, and that would be the same thing as 22 times 19, right?
Yeah.
22 times 9 is going to be the same as 2 times 9 plus 20 times 9, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and this 22 times 10 is going to be the same as 20 times 10 plus 2 times 10, right?
Yeah.
So this is going to be 18 plus, what's 9 times 20?
180.
180. What's 20 times 10?
20 times 10 is 200.
200. And what's 2 times 10?
20.
20. Okay. So we have to add all of these things together. Okay?
Yeah.
So we would do 18 plus 180.
What's that?
What is 18 plus 180?
198.
198. Do you see how a 1 and an 8 got added together?
Yeah.
Okay. And what's 20 plus, what's 200 plus 20?
220. 220 plus 198 is 20 plus 200 is 220.
Oops, sorry. You are right. Okay. What's 220 plus 198?
Oh, 200 plus 100 is 300.
198 plus 220.
418.
Very good. Okay. But what I want to really show you is when we do 9 times 2 is 18, so instead of writing 18 that we're writing here, instead of writing the 1, we carry it over here, and it's really a 10.
Yeah.
That 1 represents a 10.
Yeah.
It represents this 1 right here, which was the tens part of 18.
Yeah.
You want me to draw the ant walking?
You can.
You do? Okay. So that 10 walks over there. And so we say 9 times 2 is 18, but we really mean it's 9 times 20 plus this 10.
So it's really 9 times 30.
Nope. No. It's 9 times 20 plus 10. So it's not 9 times 30. It's 9 times 20. Do the 9 times 20 first, and then add the 10. Because, see, we're doing 9 times
That's
20
190.
here. That's 190. Okay? And you see how we got 198 here?
Yeah, but we put the 8 over there.
198. Because 9 times 20 is 190 plus 10.
198.
Okay, and now let's do the simple one. 10 times 22. And we're going to pretend that that's not a 10, we're just going to pretend it's a 1, and the way we do that is we just write the 0 down first. Right? Mm-hmm. And now we do 1 times 2 is?
2.
2. And 1 times 20 is?
1 times 20 is 20.
Okay. But we just also pretend that this is just 1 times 2. So we don't write a 20, we just write a 2 there.
And so that's 2.
And we get, look what we got. We got 198 plus 220, which is exactly what we got over here. 198 plus 220. This was kind of the long way of doing it. This is the short way of doing it. And what's 198 plus 220?
It's 14.
418.
Look, we got the last time.
Okay. Alright, so no homework today. We're going to practice this multiplication a little bit more.
Yes.
And then we'll get to the homework next week. Alright?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for watching.